Hi, this is Michael Adams for CEORoaster. I'm at the PDAC 2017 in Toronto. It's freezing cold outside, but great weather, like always, most of the time. And it's my pleasure to again talk to Steve Williams from Pasinex. We already did in the past. We did a couple of video interviews, and Pasinex was one of the few companies that constantly delivered good results and delivered on their promises. And so my intention today is to get an update what's coming up for Pasinex in 2017. Okay, so hi, Steve.
Hi, Michael.
Thanks for taking again some time to talk to me, give me an update on Pasinex. And the last couple of weeks have been really good for you. So also stock price-wise, not only fundamentally. So give us an update. What's new?
Yeah, I mean, the big thing is we're producing. We're selling. We put in the hard work in the last couple of years. We built the mine. We put in the new third adit, which is over there. We put in the new third adit, and that started production in September last year. That doubled our production. So we're going to do 60,000 tons, which is 40 million pounds of zinc this year, which is north of 25 million US in revenues, and at a good margin. And and I think people are finally seeing that. They're finally seeing that, we kept going, we built the mine, and we're bringing on zinc production when the zinc price is going up, and very few people are doing that. And so we're finally getting some recognition, and our share price started to move.
Yeah, and it took some time, but as I said in the introduction, you guys constantly, even in the down markets, you advance the projects, you put things together in the bad market, while some or a lot of the other companies didn't do anything, right? And finally, and it took, I have to admit, it took the market longer than I was anticipating to finally recognize the value that I think you have in Pasinex, right? And you were mentioning the production, which is increasing. You have the joint venture partner, which you are very blessed with because they are really a good team partner in Turkey. And you still have these DSO highest grade stuff, right? So give us a little more insight, because there's the difference between sulfide and oxide, and there's different grades. Maybe fill us in on this a little bit.
Yeah, so we're high up in the system, and when you're high up in the system, it's naturally oxide. So we started with oxide, and still the majority of our resource is oxide. It's a mineral called smithsonite, zinc carbonate, and that's about 32% zinc. So that's the majority of our production. But recently, and we reported this last year, we're starting to see the sulfides. And now, what it is the sulfides oxidize and make the oxide. So the roots should be sulfide, and so we're starting to see the sulfide roots now, which is the mineral sphalerite, and we're seeing in situ grades, some of the numbers we reported last year, meters of up to, greater than 60% zinc. It's unbelievable grade, pure sphalerite, and we've started to mine some of that. Still, as I said, most of our production is oxide, but we've started to mine some of the sulfides, and we've been selling some of that. The stuff we've been selling recently was about 49% zinc. It's actually downgraded from pure sphalerite with some of the oxide, some of the low grade 32% stuff downgrades to the high grade 60% stuff, and you end up with 49. But anyhow, it's still very good, and at both those grades it's direct shipping. Right. So we don't need to process, we just crush and we sell, and that makes us very unique. This is a fantastic, unique deposit.
Okay, and tell us about drilling. So what kind of drilling or more exploration? There's exploration potential on the projects, right? It's not only production. So tell us about the exploration potential. Is there a drill program planned for this year?
Yeah, well, we've been doing, and again this year we're going to do 12,000 meters, so we're doing a lot of drilling. There's a lot more upside here. There's a lot more opportunity. The two priorities are, first of all, I've already said, we're starting to see the sulfides now. The sulfides will go deeper. These systems can run kilometers. I mean, it's premature to say that we've got kilometers, but obviously we're optimistic and we keep drilling, and we expect to see that we'll see more of these sulfides. So that's priority focus number one, just to continue to build the resource in sulfides on Panagazu. Priority focus number two, and we're going to start to step this up this year, is stepping out a bit into the region. This is a zinc province actually. It's called the Taurus Mountains, and it's all limestones, and that's the environment that gives you these type of carbonate replacement zincs. And looking at Panagazu and looking at what we're seeing there and how great it is, logic says there should be more. We don't know where, but we think there's an opportunity to find more Panagazus or components of things like this. And so we're going to go look for them. We think that there's more to be found. It's not easy exploration. These are structurally controlled, so they're highly faulted area. Lots of faults, and so the faults can make it move. So you think it's there, but then it's there. So it's not easy exploration, but I think there's a lot more to be found.
Okay, great. One last thing to just wrap up. Your shareholder base. Yeah, I know that you have a really huge shareholder base in Europe, especially Germany, and of course the Germans are very close to Turkey. But what I saw here at this show, and maybe you can fill us in, is that I had to stand in line to get an interview time with Steve, which usually didn't happen, right? So especially over here in Canada. So do you see some more increased interest from the Canadian, North American shareholders?
Yes, the simple answer to that is yes. I think we were saying a bit earlier, I think finally people are catching on to our story. The last couple of years were horrible. They were really tough for the whole industry, and equally tough on us. And particularly here in Canada, people pulled back. They pulled back in investment. But we can see at this PDAC, there's a lot more people here this year, and I think there's a lot more interest. And zinc is one of the things that people are looking for, because the zinc price has gone up enormously, and there's probably still some upside on the zinc price. So definitely the Canadian investors are coming back. But I did want to add one other thing, and that is I've been really grateful for the investor interest we have in Germany and Austria and the world over there. Still the Frankfurt markets are I don't know, 70% of our liquidity, and clearly we've got a lot of good supporters over there, and I'm very grateful for that support. Good to see the Canadians back, but grateful for the German and Austrians.
So sometimes the Germans are kind of the first guys to discover something, right? So sometimes we are like a little bit down the hole, but no, sometimes we are. Really last question, there was something else coming to my mind. You are in production, so you have cash flow. Are your plans right now, can you finance them out of your own cash flow, or do you anticipate you need some additional financing? I guess I know the answer, but I would like to hear it from you.
No, I mean, what a difference a year makes. I mean, it's simple as that. With our share price going up, we've had some warrants that were coming due. They're all in the money now, and they're all getting exercised. So that's bringing in money into our coffers in Canada. The mine itself is generating cash. We expect to have a really good cash generation year this year from the mine. So really, to be quite honest, right at the moment, we're okay. We've got money coming in Canada, we got money coming into Turkey. Perhaps, if our share price keeps going up, it opens up the opportunity in the future of looking for the next step up. We want to eventually build to a mid-tier company, and you have to take the right steps at the right time. We haven't made any decision about that yet, but if we continue to strengthen, the market likes what they see, and our share price goes up, it opens up some other future opportunities. But right at the moment, we're okay.
No, for special opportunities, I totally agree. Sometimes you need to do a financing, but as you know, especially over the last years, the companies just did these minor dilutive financings just to keep alive, and that's something which I can't see with Pasinex. Okay, but one thing you brought up, and that's important for you to know, I'm a shareholder, I'm holding warrants, so I have a conflict of interest, right? Just full transparency. And for now, thank you very much. Great update, and all the luck for Pasinex.
Thank you.